Sometimes we have to deal with disrespect. How should we handle it? How should we react to it? Instead of reacting to disrespect with anger and resentment, Stoicism teaches us to turn to ourselves, to exercise patience and wisdom, and to choose a constructive and creative response. In this video, we will discuss how ancient philosophy can help us deal with a lack of respect, which is a fairly common and universal challenge that people face in life. Most people encounter this and often feel anxiety and irritation. However, by applying Stoic principles, we can learn to handle these difficult situations wisely and gracefully. An important principle of Stoicism is that our emotional reactions are not caused by external events, but rather depend on our internal interpretation of these events. Epictetus, an eminent Stoic philosopher, eloquently stated, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." Embracing this perspective allows us to cultivate a sense of tranquility in the face of disrespectful behavior. It is necessary to acknowledge that the source of disrespect lies in another person's subjective point of view. This realization allows us to emotionally detach ourselves and not let disrespectful actions influence our emotional well-being. Stoicism encourages self-control and recognizes that external events, such as disrespectful behavior, do not inherently have the power to disturb us. Instead, the power lies in our interpretation of these events, which grants us the ability to choose a calm and balanced response to perceived disrespect. An important component of the Stoic approach is self-reflection and internal introspection, which serve as integral elements of personal development. The Stoics asserted that the quality of our thoughts is the determining factor of the quality of our lives. They emphasized a constant striving for self-improvement. In the context of encountering disrespect, the Stoic approach highlights the need to turn inward for thoughtful self-analysis. When faced with disrespectful behavior, Stoicism urges individuals to initiate a process of self-reflection and explore their own actions, motivations, and reactions in order to identify the root causes of perceived disrespect. Key questions may include, is there any validity in the statements or actions of the other person? Am I contributing in any way to the unfolding situation? How can I formulate a response that aligns with my core values and virtues? Purposeful self-reflection serves as a powerful tool for gaining a nuanced understanding of an event and uncovering one's role in the unfolding situation. By adopting an objective position, individuals can unravel the complexities of the situation, discern elements of truth, and identify areas for potential personal growth. Thus, Stoicism encourages continual self-improvement, urging individuals to draw lessons from challenging situations and apply them to enhance their character. The practice of Stoicism primarily revolves around self-observation and engaging in an internal dialogue with oneself, fostering mindfulness and a constant striving for personal development. Such practice not only allows for a deeper understanding of one's actions, but also helps accumulate the wisdom necessary to successfully overcome future challenges with a resilient and virtuous mindset. Embedded in the saying, "Anger should not be a fleeting madness," lies a cornerstone of Stoic teachings on mastering emotions. Within the framework of Stoic philosophy, which exalts self-control and rationality, it is emphasized that impulsive reactions driven by heightened emotions, such as anger or disappointment, often lead to suboptimal decisions and unnecessary suffering. When faced with disrespect, Stoicism calls for a thoughtful and measured response, avoiding impulsive reactions. Resilience entails developing the skill to take a brief pause when encountering disrespectful behavior. This deliberate pause serves as a practical guide, urging individuals to refrain from fleeting outbursts of anger. Instead, this intentional pause becomes a valuable interlude, a buffer that allows one to gather their thoughts and regain control over their emotions. Stoic philosophers preach the wisdom of not seeking good in external things, but finding it within oneself. This principle of Stoicism emphasizes the belief in one's inherent worth residing within us, rather than being dependent on external circumstances. Another fundamental principle of Stoicism is the recognition of the interconnectedness of all humanity. The Stoics assert that studying the motivations and emotions of other people can contribute not only to improved interactions, but also personal growth. Stoicism calls for the development of empathy and a desire to understand and empathize with the experiences of others. When confronted with disrespectful behavior, the Stoic approach encourages conscious practice of empathy. This includes a sincere attempt to put oneself in the shoes of the person displaying disrespect and understand their perspective. The Stoics argue that empathy can serve as a powerful tool for re-evaluating one's understanding of the situation and gaining insight into the motives behind disrespectful actions. The practice of empathy in the Stoic tradition becomes a means of expanding one's perspective. It helps individuals overcome the immediate impact of disrespectful behavior by considering it as a potential reflection of the other person's internal issues. By embracing empathy, individuals can navigate interpersonal challenges with deeper understanding and compassion. Stoicism focuses on the development of virtues manifested in qualities such as wisdom and courage. The Stoics assert that these virtues are not only admirable traits, but also integral elements that facilitate a life lived in accordance with Stoic principles. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus succinctly expressed this idea, saying, "Virtue is nothing else but right reason." In Stoic philosophy, virtue is synonymous with rationality and adherence to the inherent order of the natural world. Virtue occupies the pinnacle of the hierarchy of Stoic values. When encountering disrespect from others, Stoicism suggests directing attention towards virtue. This does not imply passive ignorance or tolerance of disrespectful behavior. Rather, it involves a response aligned with Stoic values and principles that emphasizes virtue. Stoicism provides people with a framework to cope with disrespectful behavior while remaining resilient and whole. A Stoic response is not defined by an emotional reaction, but is rooted in a commitment to kindness. This helps individuals avoid being swayed by fleeting emotions and maintain a sense of dignity and inner integrity. Stoicism encourages individuals to view disrespectful behavior not only as an external challenge, but also as an opportunity for personal growth. By responding with virtue, people transcend immediate emotional tumult and choose a path guided by reason and moral rectitude. This approach not only aligns with Stoic principles, but also serves as an active step towards personal improvement and ethical development. Acceptance is a fundamental principle of Stoicism and represents valuable wisdom. This is particularly crucial when it comes to elements beyond our control, including the disrespectful actions of others. As Epictetus said, "The wise man is not disturbed by what he doesn't have, but is glad with what he has." When faced with disrespect, it is worth making a deliberate choice. We should refrain from allowing external events to disturb our inner peace. Acceptance does not imply passive resignation or approval of disrespectful behavior. Instead, it encourages a nuanced perspective that acknowledges the inevitability of encountering difficulties, including disrespect, as an integral part of the human experience. The strategy of acceptance allows people to free themselves from the emotional turmoil associated with perceived offenses. Rather than expending energy on futile attempts to control external factors, the Stoic approach cultivates a mindset oriented towards active self-improvement. Individuals are called upon to turn their attention inward and reflect on what can be done to enhance personal growth and successfully overcome challenges. Acceptance becomes a powerful tool in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of emotional control and rational action. It recognizes the power of humor as a valuable tool for dealing with difficult circumstances. Acknowledging that a little lightheartedness can contribute to emotional equilibrium is a characteristic feature of the Stoic approach. Humor becomes a practical means to achieve this goal. Instead of succumbing to the force of negative emotions, people can choose a response in the form of a cleverly humorous comment or a light-hearted joke. The Stoic approach encourages the strategic use of humor, redirecting interactions towards a more positive and peaceful path. It is important to note that the use of humor in Stoicism comes with the caveat of appropriateness and moderation. The aim is not to devalue or dismiss the significance of disrespectful behavior, but rather to introduce a measured and constructive element in response. Incorporating humor into interactions allows individuals to deal with the challenges of disrespect without allowing emotions to override reason. Stoicism supports the use of humor, highlighting the idea that a response to disrespect doesn't necessarily have to be serious and heavy. Humor becomes a Stoic technique, a skillful way to cope with disrespect. Thus, tension is diffused, emotional balance is preserved, and a more harmonious resolution of the situation is fostered. Stoicism also supports the establishment of clear boundaries. It is far from advocating passivity and instead instills the ethics of resilience. Stoicism upholds self-respect and demands respect from others. Stoics are unswayed by disrespect and injustice. This philosophy places the idea that a person should defend their dignity and have self-respect at the forefront without yielding to disrespect. Stoics offer a nuanced approach to confronting disrespect. Instead of passive acceptance or a reactive outburst of anger, it calls for a balanced and confident response. The Stoic path entails calm and assured behavior when faced with disrespect. Rather than getting consumed or responding with anger, it is important to express your boundaries clearly and rationally. This practice involves calmly expressing what was amiss in the disrespectful behavior and defining expectations for how you should be treated. Such boundary setting becomes a shield that safeguards your dignity and self-respect. The philosophy teaches that establishing boundaries is not synonymous with aggression. It serves as an affirmation of your own worth and a statement of the standards that are important to you. This Stoic principle acts as a compass, guiding individuals in navigating interpersonal dynamics with strength, fairness, and courage. In essence, Stoicism urges people to embody strength not as aggressive force, but as a dignified and unwavering presence. The philosophy of Stoicism imparts the wisdom to respect oneself and others while maintaining inner harmony. Calmness and external integrity, regardless of external circumstances, are important values for those who adhere to the Stoic tradition. They strive for a life guided by principles and virtues that foster a conducive environment. In this environment, self-respect is preserved and mutual respect is cultivated. One of the aspects that Stoics emphasize is the practice of forgiveness. Imagine a situation where someone shows disrespect towards you. How would you respond to that? Do you feel anger and react in return, or do you find the strength to let it go and not take it to heart? In ancient Stoic philosophy, there is profound wisdom regarding this question. Stoics assert that forgiveness is not merely a benevolent act towards others, but above all, it is a gift that a person gives to themselves. However, The Stoic approach to forgiveness is far from simplistic. It doesn't involve forgetting or condoning wrongdoing. Rather, it entails a conscious choice to free oneself from the negative emotions that cause internal harm. Stoics argue that the practice of forgiveness is an expression of our ability to focus on what is within our control and to release what is beyond our control. Stoics advocate for a careful approach to forgiveness. They speak of wisdom, compassion, and fairness. There is no room for thoughtlessness or a limited sense of control over the behavior of others while maintaining the ability to influence our own reactions. In the Stoic paradigm, forgiveness is reimagined as a strength rather than a weakness. It does not carry a destructive impact on the bearer of offenses. Forgiveness is not a sacrifice, but a reward. It is a deliberate choice to maintain inner peace. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness is a powerful tool in the arsenal of self-mastery. It is a practice that liberates individuals from the burden of negativity and promotes resilience and a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Another piece of advice from Stoicism is to change one's perspective and see situations from a broader and more objective point of view. This serves as a shield against excessive reactions and the tendency to take everything personally. In the world of Stoicism, this ability becomes a key element in combating disrespect and hurtful behavior. However, it is important to note that forgiveness is not always an easy process. In some cases, especially if the inflicted pain was severe or prolonged, forgiveness may require time and self-work. This is normal, and it is necessary to consider your emotional needs and boundaries. Overall, Stoic philosophy offers valuable principles that can aid in developing the ability to forgive. This includes the awareness that forgiveness is a gift to oneself, the practice of compassion and fairness, as well as changing one's perspective and recognizing that we do not always control the behavior of others, but can control our reactions to it. However, each person is unique, and everyone may have their own approach to forgiveness. It is important to be open to your own emotions and needs, and find a forgiveness method that aligns with your values and beliefs. I hope this information is useful to you. Stay strong and wise.